Averett Sports Network. I am joined here by Luis, and we are underway for tonight's matchup with Hollins University going up against your Averett University Cougars. So about 35 seconds here, we'll get into the starting lineups as well as the national anthem. But before we get into that, we're getting 5.5 digs a set, as well as Emma Nash, the middle and outside hitter, averaging 3.5 kills. We will have the starting lineups for tonight's matchup as well as the national anthem, and we'll be right back when this game starts.
As we are back, in the Grant Center, as we are here for the matchup between Hollins and Averett University Cougars. Averett University coming off a trip to Baltimore off of a loss to number 9 John Hopkins in 3 sets, but they also went away with a win against Bryan Marr, also in 3 sets, Jake.
Yeah, like you said, Luis, a huge win for the Cougars. I definitely think that playing a team like John Hopkins, obviously nationally ranked. And, like I said, Luis, nationally ranked team, getting that opportunity to play them, especially late in the season where they are, at their peak. Having a great year so far for Averett. Definitely excited to see what happens towards the end of the season. This game actually being one of their last, this will be their last ODAC game before heading to the tournament at the end of the season on November 7th. So we are almost underway here after the starting lineups get done here in the Grant Center. We do have our president and her husband, that's Dr. Tiffany Franks, as well as Joe Franks. Looking at your screen, they are on the right side of the net in the front row on the left. So you know it's going to be a good night in the Grant Center when the president and her husband show up to the game.
As both teams will come out, do a little pregame huddle, get each other ready and amped up for this matchup today.
Yeah, we're set to go here in the Grant Center. Both teams looking to get something out of this game. Cougars definitely need a win here if they want to secure a spot in the ODAC playoffs.
We can't forget, Jake, this is a very young team. About 9 freshmen head coach Olivia brought in. A lot of promise that and a lot of trust that she has put into these freshmen to really kind of step up and deliver something for her. We're just going to have to see how it plays out at the end of the season.
So the subs will come in to start this match off.
And now the ball will go to Gray. Now Stevens as Smith goes up with the left off of Miranda, and it'll go out of bounds. Great kill there by Ariana Smith.
Ariana Smith coming into this game, checking in, and obviously performing. And now Aaron Gray will be back to serve for the Cougars. Another very big, heavy hitter from that back line. As her serve is over the net, picked up here. This one go to the outside and blocked off of the hands of Smith and Nash. Maurer was able to get up on that one. Nelson was able to get up on that one, but was unable to get it over the wall of the front line defense of the Cougars. So Gray's serve, second serve, will be back once again, fighting for it. Able to get it over the net is Nelson. Cougars scrambling as Nash, and Nash brings this one down and in. Emma Nash put that one right on the line.
Such a key component for this Cougars attacking front. Emma Nash produces so much power off of that kill. It's very scary being on the other side of that net.
And Gray's third serve is up and over the net. This one's going to be cleared there. Good block by the front line. Stevens will pick it up to Gray. Back to Smith. Smith tips it over. Good play there from Hollins. Nelson gets this one over the net into the hands of Stevens. Outside to Green. Green out of bounds. Good play there by Hollins and Selena Wolf as she was able to dig that ball up and save it there. And the script will flip and Hollins will have the serve. And this one will be far right and out of bounds.
That was number 16, Sophia Marr, for Hollins, trying to get it into the play, but it's just be outside of the line as Dayton Moore checks in as Ariana Smith will take a seat on the bench for the Cougars, and Smith will try to send it back over to Hollins as the serve will go up. Worley picks it up. Now Nelson sends it back to Gentry. Now Moore. Parrish sends it right down. Great kill there by Parrish. And Moore will step right back to serve back to Hollins.
Moore's serve is up and over the net, picked up here by Hollins, but it will be played into the net.
As the Cougars are off to a very dominant start, 14-5, very early on in this set. It seems like we just started the set and they're already on fire, absolutely taking advantage of a lot of mistakes done by Hollins.
Nelson's kill is picked up to Green, and Green will hit into the net. Hollins is down, but they are not out, slowly trying to come back in this game. Here in this first set, Hollins will have the serve once again. This is going to be Jalen Worley as her serve is up and out of bounds right on the line. Line judge calls it out. Definitely could have gone either way. Substitutions coming in for the Cougars. It will be Woodliff as well as McIntosh back in the game, and Woodliff will be back to serve for the Cougars. The freshman serve makes it up and over the net. Good dig up there. Hollins going to scramble for this one, but they were unable to get it. Woodliff will pick up the ace on that one.
And that was number 2 for Hollins. Miranda trying to get a touch on that and get a dig for her team, but she just had a wrong approach to it and didn't quite communicate with the rest of her team, causing the point. Now Miranda to Worley. And that'll be Henderson trying to make something of that, trying to get it over the net for the last second touch on the ball. And Woodliff will be back to serve.
Woodliff serve is up and over the net, picked up there by Miranda. Scrambling around, this one's going to go to Nelson, and Nelson will hit it out.
Very unlucky Nelson is with that kill. A lot of their hits going off and off target here for Hollins as Woodliff serves back. Now Miranda, now Worley sets it up. Another unlucky kill hits the net. Another point for the Cougars, and as they will go up 19-6 in the first set.
It looks like the plan here for Hollins is to get the ball for Carrie Nelson, as she has been doing very well all night but has just not been hitting. as that one will go out of bounds from the kill from Schaefer. But back to Nelson. Obviously, she has had the most attempts on the team, but has so far been unsuccessful finding the hardwood inbounds on the Cougar side of the court.
Now Worley looks for Henderson, and Henderson finally gets it down. Now that'll be Nelson serving for Hollins. As the serve will go up, McIntosh digs, more, Nash right to the hands of Worley, and it'll go out of bounds. It'll be another point for the Cougars, as Gray will go ahead and take a seat for the Cougars. And number 21, Allie Wilkerson, will take her spot. Emma Nash now back to serve. The serve is up. Goes straight to Nelson. Worley bumps. The kill goes over. More digs. Nash. And now Parrish kills it immediately. Worley didn't quite have the reaction time to get to that ball, as it'll be another serve for Nash.
Good job here by the Cougars. Obviously, they wouldn't be as successful if they didn't have a setup crew from the back line and more. And she is able to set up those outside hitters perfectly so they can be super successful.
Beautiful kill there by McIntosh. Carrie Nelson had absolutely no time to react as the ball came speeding to her. And again, Emma Nash will serve back for the Cougars, as the ball will go over the net and go outside of play. And it'll be a point for Hollins, as Nash will go ahead and take a seat. And Erin Gray will enter the game for her. Now Schaefer will set it up for Hollins. Goes to McIntosh. Parrish trying to keep it in. Gray sends it beautifully over the net. And now Nelson to Worley. Marr. And the ball will go out of bounds off of a good judgment call off of Woodliff. Great IQ play. And it'll be called back in bounds. It'll be a point for Hollins, as Schaefer sets it right back over. Woodliff. More bumps. Parrish. Parrish's attempted kill will go out of bounds. And it'll be another point for Hollins, as it is now 23-10. Hollins serving. Now Schaefer sets up again, serves it. Now McIntosh. More comes. Sets it up. Parrish sends it over the net. Nelson. Now Worley. As that is Henderson sending it over. Now Moore sets it up. Now McIntosh off of the tip. A bit of miscommunication there by Hollins again, causing another point, as Averett goes up 24-10. And now Stevens comes into the game for Parrish. Smith for Moore. And Stevens will serve it off for the Cougars. Very good serve there by Stevens. Now Worley sets. Looking for number 6. That'll be Wolf. Stevens sets. McIntosh tries to kill. Great defense played here by Hollins. McIntosh sends it right back. Great dive there by Miranda, as Nelson tried to save that ball from going out of bounds. And the Cougars will go up 1-0 on the set, winning 25-10 over Hollins.
That's right, Luis. The Cougars walk away with the first set there, and the second set will be underway here in 3 minutes. Once again, my name is Jake Braun, and beside me is Luis Martinez, and we will be right back after the break. on the Averett Sports Network. Once again, my name is Jake Braun, and beside me is Luis Martinez as we are about to get underway of this second set between Hollins University and your Averett University Cougars. The Cougars were able to pull away in that first set. Very successful. They won that set pretty quickly. So let's see what happens here in the start of the second set. It'll be Brenda Light now back to serve for the Cougars to start off the second set here as that one's over the net. Picked up by Nelson. To the middle, back to Nelson. And Brenda Light unable to pick up there, so.
That's a great job by Worley to send it over the net to Light. Light just couldn't quite get a hand on it.
Nelson's serve is up and over the net, and that one will be out of bounds. Be Green now back to serve for the Cougars as her serve makes it up and over, picked up by Miranda in the middle now, and it will be a miss hit on the outside. Point will go to the Cougars.
That's a great setup there by Hollins, but number 6 Wolf just misjudged it and completely whiffed the ball, causing a point for the Cougars.
Green's second serve is up and over the net, and it will come down on the side of Hollins.
A lot of miscommunication here so far for Hollins, causing a lot of struggle so far. I think we will go ahead and set it up.
And Green's serve will be into the net.
As this set seems to go a lot better than the first set for Hollins. 3-2 so far.
Serve is up and over the net, picked up by Gray. Light now in the middle to Nash. Nash tips this one over, great dig up there. Sent back over the net, picked up by, outside now to Mounts, and Mounts brings it down. Sydney Mounts, a freshman, coming into the game and starting off electric.
That's a great offensive rally there by the Cougars, and a great kill there by Mounts.
And it's going to be the senior Gray back to serve as this one's over. Picked up by Nelson. Now to the middle to Worley. To the outside to Wolf. And a miss hit will lead into the net.
Again, Wolf just sort of misjudging it and kind of whiffs the ball into the net. Hopefully next time she'll better approach the ball.
Gray will be back to serve once again. Picked up by Nelson, outside now, corralling things together. Back to Nelson, and this one will be down. Cougars will pick up the point.
Seems to be a lot of mental errors here for Hollins, as after each missed hit and kill, seem to kind of be hanging their heads.
Gray now back to serve for the fourth time as this one's up and over. Picked up by Miranda. Now be the middle to Worley, to the outside to Wolf. Wolf brings it down, but blocked by the 2 freshmen of the front line, and Allie Wilkerson and Hope Parrish.
A great start so far for Hollins, as now they are trailing by 5, 7-2 against the Cougars.
Gray now back to serve once again. Her serve is up and over the net, and Miranda makes a great play there, but unable to dig that one up.
That's a great serve there by Gray. Miranda just couldn't react quickly enough to the ball.
Gray doing what she does best. Back to serve now for the 6th time. This one makes it over. Miranda picks that one up to Worley. To the outside here to Henderson. Green picks this one up. Light sets up Parrish on the outside. And that one will be out of bounds, wide left from Parrish.
A lot of back and forth from both of these teams, as we see a couple new faces coming into this lineup in the second set.
Looks like it's going to be Henderson back to serve. Her serve makes this over the net, picked up by Green. Light in the middle to Nash. Nash tips this one, sent back over by Worley. Gray picks it up to Light. Outside to Mounts. Good block there, but it will fall.
A lot of power produced off of that kill by Mounts, as the block just wasn't enough to keep it on the other side of the net. And Hollins concedes a point there. And Stevens will enter the game, seating Parrish on the bench as well as Light in for Smith in for Light. And Stevens will set it up for the Cougars.
Stevens serve makes it over, picked up by Nelson. Now to Worley to the outside here, but blocked. Cougars will have the point. Good attempt there from Maurer.
The Cougars maintaining very dominant over Hollins so far.
Stevens back to serve for the second time. This one makes it over, picked up by Nelson. Smith tried for the block, but the Cougars able to come back there. Good job by Stevens. This one set out outside to Wolf and blocked by the front line of Smith and Wilkerson.
Like you said, Jake, absolutely beautiful effort from Stevens to maintain the ball in play and get it over the net. As Wolf tried to send it right back over for the kill, but just couldn't quite get it there.
Looking at the front line for the Cougars is including 3 freshmen as Stevens makes this one over, picked up by Miranda to Worley now, getting this one over the net. Gray picks this one up. Stevens now outside to Mounts, and Mounts will find out of bounds.
Just a little too much power off of the fingertips of Mounts as number 3, Michaela Johnson, has entered the game for Wolf.
Johnson service up and over the net. Green picks this one up to Gray. Looks like Wilkerson's just going to get this one over. Now to Worley, back in the middle. Great dig there by Gray. And Wilkerson will find the wide right of the court.
Now Johnson will be back to serve for Hollins.
Johnson serving for the second time. Her serve is up and over, picked up by Green. This one is Stevens. Stevens in the middle, bringing it down. Allie Wilkerson.
As Kaylee Gentry will enter the game, and Sydney Mounts, number 3, will take a seat for the Cougars. Gentry being very consistent on her serve so far.
Gentry's serve is up and over the net. Good dig up there by Henderson. This one to Worley. Now to Maurer. Good play there by Gray. Stevens picks this one up outside to Green. Green brings it down. Good pick up there by Johnson to Worley. Johnson able to get this one over the net. Stevens now to the middle, and Wilkerson. Wilkerson tries again but fails. Gray will have it to the outside to Smith, and Smith brings it down.
Absolutely beautiful kill there by Smith, bringing it right down to the feet of Miranda. A bit of more miscommunication there by Hollins.
Gentry's serve is up and over the net, and that one will be an ace.
Like I said earlier, Kaylee Gentry absolutely very good at serving when consistent and doing a very good job of getting the ball consistently over the net, scoring points for the Cougars.
Gentry's going to serve this one up once again. That one's picked up there by Johnson to Worley. Now to the outside to Maurer. Gets blocked. And it will come down, and the Cougars will retain the point.
The Cougars maintaining very dominant on offense and defense with amazing blocks on that line. And Gentry back to serve.
Nina Moore checks into the game for the Cougars. Gentry awaits the serve as Hollins gets in formation. Gentry's serve makes it over the net. Johnson misplays it, and it will go out of bounds.
Johnson not exactly sure how to approach that serve as it came in very hot, very quickly to her.
Gentry's serve up and over the net, picked up by Johnson to Worley, who tips it over. Good play by Wilkerson to Stevens, outside to Moore. And a great tip right there from Smith as she is able to play that one perfectly, and it will fall.
Great job there by Smith, having situational awareness and understanding that she can reach that ball just over the net.
Gentry's serve is over the net, picked up by Henderson. This one sent over. Good play by Gentry. Outside to Smith. Smith brings it down. Good dig up there by Johnson. Outside to Nelson. Nelson, too hard, wide right, out of bounds. Cougars will retain the point.
Now Gentry will be back to serve. I believe this is her 5th serve here now, Jake.
That's right, Louise. 7 points away from putting this second set away as Johnson picks this one up to Miranda. Outside to Nelson, who picks that one up. Good job there by Nina Moore. Smith comes down once again. and it will be off the hands of Miranda and out of bounds.
Number 14, the freshman, Ariana Smith, being absolutely dominant here for the Cougars on that front line.
Gentry's serve will be up. Hit short, but Hollins will play it outside to Nelson. Nelson into the net.
Now Gentry back to serve again, scoring the majority of these points off of these very serves that she's taking right now.
Gentry, one of the top servers for the Cougars, as it's over the net. Commentator's curse. I'm sorry, Kaylee Gentry. That one is on me. I jinxed her on that one. But like I was saying, Kaylee Gentry is a very, very good server for the Cougars.
You had a very good run, Gentry.
And Mauer's service up and over the net, picked up by Nina Moore to Stevens. Outside in the middle to Smith, but blocked. Good block there by Schaefer.
Smith had enough power on it. She was just a little behind the exact spot she wanted to be at.
As this one's going to be Mauer. Gets this one over the net, and Gentry unable to play that one. And Mauer will get the ace. Mauer once again back to serve for Hollins. The serve is up and over the net. Picked up by Gray. Stevens to the outside of Nina Moore. Nina Moore brings that one down hard, but Hollins will play it. Gray now to Stevens. Stevens just tips this one over. Trick play. Kinsley Stevens.
That was a very good IQ there by Kinsley Stevens, number 19. Absolutely taking advantage of an unset Hollins team and putting it right in the middle of all of them.
It's going to be Wilkerson back to serve for the Cougars. She finds Johnson, who finds Worley outside and bringing it down. Great kill there by Schaefer.
Wilkerson not exactly ready for that velocity on behind that ball, as Wilkerson will go ahead and take a seat, and number 10, Aaron Gray, will enter the game for the Cougars.
It looks like Nash is on the court as well. The duo between Gray and Nash is fantastic, as this one goes to Stevens. Outside to Nash. Nash gets blocked. Gentry saves it, though. Stevens will get this one over the net. Miranda making a great play. Hollins able to get this one over the net. Tipped and down. So great play there by Schaefer.
Now
they were able to get that one down.
Now number 12, Worley, will set up for Hollins to serve it over the net.
Worley's service up and into the hands of Gentry. Nina Moore gets this one. Smith sends it over and out of bounds.
Too much power behind that ball by Smith, sending it out of bounds, setting up Worley for another serve for Hollins.
Worley back to serve once again. This one's up and over the net, picked up by Nina Moore to Stevens. Outside to Smith. Smith brings this one down hard, but played perfectly. Nelson now has it, and this one will be out.
Great job defensively by Worley.
Few substitutions here for the Cougars. Looks like Lights coming back into the game. And Hollins will call a timeout here.
The first set was very dominant by the Cougars. It seems that nothing has changed going into the second set, as they lead 22-11 against Hollins. The Cougars being very good at stepping up tall and big on those blocks, and the kills are just as strong and just as much velocity behind them.
And we will be back after this timeout here on the Averett Sports Network. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on the Averett Sports Network. Once again, my name is Jake Braun, and beside me is Luis Martinez, as we are underway here for the end of the second set. as the Cougars are hoping to put it away as they are within 3. Light back to serve for the Cougars. This one makes it over. Picked up by Miranda. To Worley now. Outside to Nelson. Nelson gets blocked. Hollins able to get this one over the net by Worley. Gray to Light in the middle to Nash, and Nash brings it down.
You know, the Hollins defense absolutely stood tall in front of Nash. Nash just had too much power and got it right between both of the Hollins defenders there. As Light will step up to serve the ball back over to Hollins. Seems to be a little bit of a wet spot on the Hollins side. But we will play regardless. Or not.
Looks like Worley took care of the water on the court, so we should be good here. And Light will be back to serve once again as her serve is over the net, picked up by Nelson. Now to Worley. In the middle by Henderson, off the hands of Gentry and out of bounds. Excuse me, that was Schaefer there on the kill.
Now Nelson will serve for Hollins, sending it over the net.
This one's picked up here by the Cougars. Outside now to Nina Moore. She's able to tip this one up and over the net.
Moore not needing a lot of effort there to kind of send it over the net and find a spot on Hollins' side to get it down, as Woodliff now will serve for the Cougars.
Woodliff and Mounts check into the game for the Cougars. It will be Woodliff back to serve. A little communication here between Coach Earls and the refs. But the Cougars are 1 point away from sending this second set down. And that will do it, as that will be Woodliff picking up the ace. The Cougars will win this set 25-12, as Hollins is down 2 now. And hopefully during this break, Coach McGee can get something going here for Hollins and switch up the game plan. As for the Cougars, Coach Earl's team has obviously been on fire and unstoppable. So we will see what happens here in the third set when we get back here on the Averett Sports Network. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Averett Sports Network. Once again, my name is Jake Braun, and beside me is Luis Martinez as we are underway here in the Grant Center for the third set of this matchup between Hollins University and your Averett University Cougars.
It's a very dominant two first sets for the Cougars, as the last set they brought down Hollins 22-11, or 25-11, sorry, as they plan to put this away in 3 sets against Hollins.
Obviously, the Cougars have been on a roll here in these first 2 sets. Hopefully during the break, Coach McGee has a different game plan for his team, as Hollins can hopefully pull away with a set here.
Now Worley will be back to serve for Hollins.
And we are underway as Worley's serve is up and over, picked up by McIntosh. Now to Moore, and Nash brings it down.
Absolutely beautiful kill there by Nash to start off the set for the Cougars, putting them up 1-0 early on, as Green will be back there to serve for the Cougars.
Rachel Green gets this one up and over the net, picked up there by Johnson, over the net to Gray. Moore now has it, and it'll be off the hands, and it will be a kill for Hope Parrish as she is able to bring that one down.
Very good effort there by Parrish.
Green now back to serve once again. This one's up and over the net. Johnson off the hands and out of bounds. Rachel Green will pick up the ace.
And Rachel Green back to serve for the 3rd time for the Cougars. Hoping to make it 4 now.
It will be Rachel Green now. Once again, over the net. Picked up by Johnson. Into the net. Rachel Green with another ace.
And that will be number 4. Can Rachel Green make it 5 for the Cougars early on?
Luis, I would love to see that. She is back to serve now for the 5th time to open up this 3rd set. This one's up and over, but into the net. Luis, we do it every time.
It's the curse, Jake. It's the curse.
I firmly apologize to Rachel Green for the commentator's curse. Again, that one's on me. And Johnson will have it now, as this one's up and over the net, picked up by McIntosh. Moore now has it in the middle to Nash, off the hands of the front line and down.
Nash produces such great power behind those kills that no matter if it hits off you, it'll go in favor of the Cougars.
Nash now back to serve for the Cougars. I won't say much about the serves here tonight because I have been messing everything up. But this one will be picked up by Worley to the outside now. This one's over the net, picked up by Moore. Now to Green. Over to Parrish. She's able to get this one over to Miranda. Worley now sets up on the outside to Henderson. Nash tries to save that one, and that one's way high in the bleachers. Good job there by Henderson.
The score currently 5-2. Hollins still in it, trying to make a comeback here to try to even it out.
Schaefer now has it. That one's over the net, picked up by Green. Moore now has it, tips it to McIntosh, but she ends up in the net.
Moore set a little short of McIntosh, just couldn't angle herself correctly to try to kill that ball.
And it will be Schaefer now back to serve once again. This one's up and over, picked up by Green. Good play there by Moore. And they're going to call a double hit there on McIntosh, as that one was hard to play.
Moore trying to get her hands on it to try to set it up for Larios. Just couldn't quite get it there.
Schaefer now sends this one into the net. Cougars will pick up the point, and Light and Stevens will check in.
Hope Parrish and Dayton Moore, number 23, will go ahead and take a seat for the Cougars. And now Stevens will set up for the serve.
Hollins slowly crawling their way back into this one as Stevens sends this one over the net. Picked up there by Henderson to Worley. Outside now. This one's brought down. Good kill there by Joyner as she checks into the game.
This set going a lot better for Hollins so far, as they trail only by 1 compared to the last 2 sets, where early on they trailed by 5.
It looks like Bolt will be into the game to serve for Hollins. That one's up and over, but wide but that one is deep, and it will not find inbounds.
As now Gentry will be back there to serve. Very consistent today so far. Maybe we won't jinx this one today,
I'm
AJ.
I'm not going to say anything about how Kaylee Gentry's serving has been tonight, but she does have it in her hands, and she will be sending it over the net here. And she will pick up the ace. That's all I will say.
That's a great effort there by Miranda, but just a step short as Gentry finds the box for the Cougars.
Gentry has it. Her serve is up and over the net. Picked up by Miranda. This one to Worley, who's going to go in the middle to Maurer. Misplayed there. Light picks this one up to Gray. Green going to send it over. Good play there by Bolt. Worley now to Henderson, to Green. Good volley here. Stevens going to send this one over to Light. Light goes up, but it's blocked. This one now to Green. Green brings it down. Hollins not done with this one yet. This one's sent over by Henderson, and it will fall.
As Averett tries to make a defensive push there, but just wasn't enough. As now that'll be number 14 for Hollins, Cassidy Henderson, serving for them.
Henderson just had a huge play there on that one. It's a 2-point game, and it's a close one here in the Grand Center. Her serve is up and over, picked up by Gentry. This one is Stevens. Stevens to Light, and Light brings it down.
Great job there by Light to get it past Miranda and score a point for the Cougars, as now Brianna Larios will go ahead and take a seat and bring on number 22, Emma Nash.
Gray has it now. This one's up and over the net. Picked up by Bolt. This one brought down back by Nash. But she will be called into the net. Point will go to Hollins.
Seemed a little too good to be true, as that point was brought very easily to Nash. But now Marr will step back to serve for Hollins.
Maurer has it now. This serve is up and over the net. Picked up by Green. Stevens now to the outside to Light. Light tips this one over. Picked up by Maurer. Outside now, bringing it down is Johnson, but the Cougars will retain it. Nash now has it. Puts that one down. Johnson over the net. Now outside to Light. Light gets blocked. Green picks it up. Stevens tips this over. Worley picks it up, though, to Johnson, and Johnson will find the hands of Nash and the hardwood.
That's a great rally there by both teams. Hollins just happens to come on top as Maurer steps up for the serve.
1-point game here. Maurer back to serve. This one's up and over, picked up by Green. Gray now has it to Nash. Nash brings it down. Emma Nash off of the hands of Bolt and out of bounds.
That's a great effort there by Bolt. Just couldn't quite get it there. There was too much velocity, too much power behind that kill by Nash, as Dayton Moore will now get the ball for the serve for the Cougars.
Moore's serve is up and over the net. This one's picked up by Bolt. Worley tipping this one over and finding space. Worley able to pick that one up there.
Tipped off the net by Worley. Left the Cougars a little bit shocked as the ball just plopped down in the middle of all of them. Danny Miller calls that a campfire, as he explained it in my class earlier this week.
This one by Worley up and over the net. Moore to Nash. Excuse me, that's Rachel Green who brings it down, but out of bounds. Two-point game here in the Grant Center. Worley back to serve once again for Hollins, as her serve is up and over the net, picked up by Gentry. Moore has it in the middle to Nash. Nash tips this one over, and it will fall.
That's a great IQ play there by Nash to tip it over the blockers. It just so happened to go off of number 10, Elena Joyner. It'll be a point for the Cougars, as Woodliff now, number 2, steps back to serve for the Cougars.
This one's up, picked up by Worley in the middle, gets blocked by the front line of Nash and McIntosh.
Woodliff back to serve again, as Hollins now trails by 2, 12-10 to the Cougars.
Woodliff back to serve. This one's up and over. Good pickup there. Worley in the middle now, bringing it down, but into the net.
Great joint effort there by Emma Nash and Hope Parrish to kind of tap it down into the zone for the Cougars.
Once again, Woodliff here. Serve is up and over, picked up by Miranda. This one to Worley. She retains it. Johnson sends this one over. Miscommunication here, but Nash gets it over. Back to Worley. Outside to Joyner. Gets blocked. Worley sends this one over. Good pickup there and saved by Gray. Outside to McIntosh. McIntosh brings it down. Good save by Miranda. This one outside to Johnson and into the net.
It's a great job by both teams keeping the ball into play. As number 3 Johnson just couldn't quite get the angle on that ball to get it over the net. Woodliff back to serve again for the Cougars.
Woodliff serve is up and over, picked up by Johnson. This one to Worley, into the middle to Schaefer, and blocked by Nash.
As we said earlier, Jake, Emma Nash, an absolute key component for this Cougars and their success so far.
Woodliff serve is up and over the net, picked up there by Johnson, but misplayed, and it will be an ace for Woodliff.
Woodliff back to serve again for the Cougars. She's so far on a roll. Hopefully I don't jinx Woodliff with that little comment there.
Woodliff, we are sorry in advance, as this one is up, over, picked up by Miranda. Worley now has it. Outside to Joyner. Good save there by Woodliff. This one's outside to McIntosh. McIntosh brings it down!
A lot of power there produced by McIntosh behind that kill. And again, Woodliff will serve, making it 17-10 so far, hoping to make it 18.
Cougars pulling away with this one as Woodliff serve up and over the net. Picked up there. Worley outside to Joyner, who swings and misses.
Joyner just misjudged the height of the ball and completely whiffs it, causing a point for the Cougars. And now it would be 18-10. Woodliff back to serve again.
Woodliff now puts this one into the net. I blame that on Luis. Luis was talking Woodliff up a little bit there.
I apologize. 7 points in, you kind of want to hype her up. Great job there by Woodliff, as now Johnson will set it up.
This one outside to McIntosh. McIntosh brings it down, but it's saved. Picked up by Gray. This one to Moore. Moore in the middle to Nash. Nash brings it down. Good dig up there by Worley. And it will be called into the net there on Miranda, as she was unable to slow down going after that one.
That was a great dig there by Miranda to keep the ball into play. She just couldn't stop herself with a lot of motion going forward. And now Emma Nash, number 22, will set up to serve for the Cougars.
Nash back to serve. This one here picked up by Johnson. Worley now has it in the middle to Joyner, who brings it down in between the lines.
That's a great job by Joyner to get it in between number 15 Parrish and number 18 Larios, as Nash will now take a seat, and number 10 Aaron Gray will come in for the Cougars.
And this serve there by Schaefer will be into the net.
The Cougars now leading by 8, 20-12, as Hope Parrish and Dayton Moore will go ahead and take a seat. Stevens and Light will enter the game.
Stevens back to serve, 5 points away from the win. This one's up and over. Picked up there. Worley now has it in the middle to Maurer. Good save by Stevens. Now to Gray. Gray outside to McIntosh. McIntosh brings it down.
That's a great job there by McIntosh to find her target and absolutely kill it, as Stevens will now set up to serve again.
Stevens 4 points away from putting this one away. This one's picked up here to Worley. Now in the middle to Maurer. Pick up there by Woodliff. Stevens outside to Light. Light puts this one over. Collision on the court, but this one's going to be sent over by Henderson. Picked up by Woodliff. Stevens outside to McIntosh. McIntosh brings it down!
McIntosh absolutely on fire, Jake, as that is her third kill in a row. Now Stevens will set up for the serve again for the Cougars.
Destiny McIntosh on fire here in this third set for the Cougars. Stevens 3 points away now as her serve is up and over the net. Picked up by Worley outside to Joyner. And Joyner able to bring it down.
Joyner just squeezing it in between McIntosh and Larios to score a point for Hollins. as Joyner will now take a seat, and number 4, Bolt, will go ahead and serve for Hollins.
Bolt's serve is up and over the net, picked up by Gray. Stevens outside the light. Light brings it down. Good save by Miranda. Good save by Maurer. And this one will be put out of bounds by Henderson.
Henderson, just a little too much power behind that kill. Trying to bring it down a little more, but just didn't dip in time. McIntosh will now serve for the Cougars, 23-13, trying to look for the next 2 points.
McIntosh serving for the Cougars. Her serve is up and over the net, and she will pick up an ace.
Miranda trying to do her best to kind of read McIntosh's serve, which was just a step behind. And now with 1 point left, McIntosh will look to put it away.
It'll be game point here for McIntosh. She sends this one over the net. Picked up by Johnson. Worley. Worley outside to Maurer. Picked up by McIntosh outside to Green. Green to Bolt, off the hands and out of bounds.
A very dominant 3 sets by the Cougars as they win the third one, 25-13.
Good match here between both teams. Cougars do pull away in 3 sets. Very successful night for the Cougars as they will take this ODAC win and head to the tournament. Hopefully Washington and Lee loses their match this week. So we will take the 5th spot in the ODAC tournament. But that will be it here tonight on the Averett Sports Network. Once again, my name is Jake Braun, and alongside me, Luis Martinez. And we will see you next time here in the Grand Center.